Hey, puppy people! Jude the Puppy Nanny here. Your purring puppy. Not very likely, is it? I know that puppies don't purr, but we're going to talk about handling your new puppy today. And if you get your new puppy accustomed to being handled by you and by everyone else, some dogs actually do make a groan of pleasure. So that's why I've said your purring puppy. Let's get started. Is this your dog? The one who won't have his toenails clipped, hates to be brushed, refuses to take pills and you find them on the floor. It's never too late, but it's so easy for a young pup to learn to enjoy being handled. So what you want to do is you want to start right this minute to handle all of puppy's body parts. Older pups begin to object. The young ones don't mind a bit. So why does it matter whether your pup or your dog likes to be handled? Well, throughout your dog's lifetime, not only will you have to handle your dog, as in to check for injuries, put drops in his ear, put drops in his eyes, but your kids will want to handle your dog. Other kids will want to handle your dog. The vet tech, and if depending on the type of dog you have, perhaps the groomer. So it really does matter that your puppy get accustomed to being handled by people. And if your pup doesn't like to be touched, it can be really embarrassing. You're at the groomer, you're at the vet, and your dog doesn't like to be touched, so it turns suddenly when the vet tech touches it. It's very frustrating because you can't trim toenails, so you can't look at that cut paw. In fact, they may dislike it so much that they will bite, and that becomes just beyond embarrassing. And I'm sure you don't want any of that. So let's talk about how to make your puppy purr. I'm really kidding. But here's what we're going to do. Sit on the floor with your puppy, or pick him up depending on the size. Gather him into your lap, and if he's super wiggly, hook 2 fingers in his collar. Then calmly and slowly begin to make circles with your fingers all over his body. Using very light pressure, make a 1 1/4 clockwise turns for each circle. Start with his belly, move into the groin area, and then down each hind leg. Back up to the front legs, making circles on his sides and his back. And whether you're going from front to back or back to front doesn't matter. It's the doing it that matters. And you can hum, or you can sing, or you can talk softly to him, or you can just be quiet. You'll have to gauge the mood of the dog yourself, your puppy. And then you're going to run your hands gently down each leg in turn, and make sure when you get to the feet that you feel between the toes, top and bottom, and the pads of the feet. Touch his tail, his anal and his genital area, because these areas are super sensitive, and it's highly likely that these are areas that are going to need to be touched in his lifetime. So get him used to it now. Now go back to the head and massage his neck. And then hold each ear between your forefinger and middle finger, like this, and slide your fingers from his head down to his ear tip. Then look inside each ear, move your fingers around his eyes, perhaps pulling the skin down just a little bit, just so that he gets accustomed to having your fingers near his eyes. And then run your finger along the outside of his gums. I'm going to suggest that only the adults do this because puppies are fast and the teeth are super sharp. We don't want tears. And you're done. So now your puppy's either sound asleep or he's super wiggly. And if he's super wiggly, just wait for a calm second before you let him go and use your release word. I don't know what you say. Do you say, okay, all done, go play, finished? Whatever it is, that now is the time to release him to do whatever he likes. And if you need to use tiny little treats while you're handling him, just to keep him occupied and keep him from wiggling quite so much, go ahead. 5 minutes is plenty long to do this, but if you're both enjoying it, you can go on as long as you like. And if you want to make the most of this and get your pup used to it to being handled easily, then make sure you sort of stop for a second in your daily activity. Just give his ears a little rub. Run your hand down his tail. Touch his feet. Well, maybe you want to wipe them when he's coming in, so that will get him accustomed to having his feet handled, and a good thing. And the more you do, the bigger your payoff will be. You will have a puppy that loves to be handled. And that is so handy if you have children in your life, whether they be yours or your grandchildren or neighbors. If you have made your puppy accustomed to being handled by everybody, then when visitors come, especially small children, yes, you still must keep an eye on them, but you won't be worried that he's not accustomed to it. And if you need more puppy training tips, you'll find them all in my book, The Puppy Nanny's Guide to Training Your Puppy. And you can buy the book at judethepuppynanny.com, at amazon.com, or amazon.ca. And I've made a video for you to show you exactly how to go about the handling, and the puppy you see in the picture is a fine example of being a little older than optimal for getting accustomed to being handled. She does really well. Her name is Hobo. She does really well, but in the beginning, you can see her having something to say about having her feet handled. And most important of all, when you're working with your puppy, training your puppy, hanging out with your puppy, have fun. That's it for this time. Ruff!